When people talk about the Holocaust, it is often reduced to a number, a date, or a single word. But the Holocaust was not an event that happened all at once. It was a process that unfolded step by step, day by day, and for the people trapped inside it, it was a constant reality of fear, loss, and uncertainty. The Holocaust was the systematic persecution and murder of Europe's Jews by Nazi Germany and its collaborators during World War II. Around 6 million Jewish people were killed. Other groups were also targeted, including Roma and Sinti people, disabled people, Polish civilians, Allied prisoners of war, political opponents, and others Hitler considered undesirable. This was not chaotic violence. It was organized, recorded, and carried out through laws, police forces, transport networks, and state power. For many victims, the Holocaust did not begin with camps or killings. It began with exclusion. Jewish families who had lived ordinary lives suddenly found themselves pushed out of society. Children were removed from schools. Adults lost jobs, businesses, and professional licenses. Neighbors who had once been friendly became distant or hostile. Anti-Jewish laws made discrimination legal and normal, and propaganda portrayed Jews as dangerous, inferior, or subhuman. As Germany expanded across Europe, these policies followed. In occupied territories, Jewish communities were forced into ghettos. These were sealed-off districts, often overcrowded and cut off from supplies. Daily life was dominated by hunger, illness, and fear. Families lived in cramped conditions, unsure how long they would be allowed to survive. Deportations were always rumored, but rarely explained. People knew something terrible was coming, even if they did not yet know what it would be. Everything escalated dramatically in 1941. When the Nazis declared war on the Soviet Union, this invasion marked a turning point. Behind the front lines, special killing units followed the German army. Entire Jewish communities were rounded up and murdered. The scale of violence increased rapidly, and mass killing became a central goal of Nazi policy rather than a byproduct of war. From this point on, the Holocaust moved from persecution and containment to systematic extermination. Later that year, Nazi leaders formalized plans to murder Europe's Jews entirely. Deportations intensified. Families were ordered to pack their belongings and report to collection points, often under the lie that they were being resettled or sent to work. People were given little time to prepare. Many were separated from loved ones almost immediately, sometimes within minutes. Parents lost children. Spouses were torn apart. Most never saw each other again. Transport was carried out with chilling efficiency. Victims were moved across occupied Europe using the same rail networks that supported the war effort. Human beings were treated as cargo. The journeys were terrifying, filled with uncertainty and fear. People clung to rumors, to hope, or to denial, because the truth was almost impossible to comprehend. The Holocaust was not carried out by Nazi Germany alone. Other Axis countries and collaborators became involved in different ways. Italy introduced anti-Jewish laws, and after German occupation of the North in 1943, allowed deportations to begin. In Hungary, the government cooperated with Nazi Germany, and in 1944, Hungarian Jews were deported at extraordinary speed. Across occupied Europe, local authorities, police forces, and Allied regimes played roles that helped make the genocide possible. And at concentration camps designed specifically for mass murder like Auschwitz-Birkenau, prisoners were stripped of identity, names were replaced with numbers, personal belongings were taken away. Life became a constant struggle to survive under conditions designed to break both body and mind. Forced labor, starvation, disease, and violence were part of daily existence. Survival often depended on chance, where someone was sent, who noticed them, or whether they were considered useful at a particular moment. The psychological reality of the Holocaust is harder to capture than the physical conditions, but it was just as devastating. People lived with constant fear, knowing death could come at any time, but never knowing when. Parents tried to protect their children with reassurances they did not believe themselves. Hope became both essential and dangerous. Even so, people found ways to resist in small, human ways, helping someone stand, sharing food, preserving memories, or refusing to give up their sense of self. As the war turned against Hitler, the killing did not stop. Even as defeat loomed, the Nazi regime continued deportations and murders. When Allied forces finally liberated the camps in 1944 and 1945, they found survivors who were physically weakened and emotionally scarred beyond anything they had known before. Liberation did not mean an immediate return to normal life. Many survivors had lost their entire families. Homes had been destroyed or taken. Communities that had existed for centuries were gone. Survivors faced the challenge of rebuilding lives in a world that had allowed the Holocaust to happen. The Holocaust did not occur because of one decision or one person alone. It grew out of propaganda, prejudice, obedience, and silence. Ordinary systems and ordinary people were involved. That is what makes it so important to understand. It shows how quickly discrimination can become destruction when humanity is denied, and when people stop seeing others as people. Understanding what the Holocaust was really like is not only about remembering the past. It is about recognizing the warning signs in the present and understanding the consequences when hatred is allowed to grow unchecked. Remembering is not optional. It's a responsibility.